Let's go.
Hey guys, CRL Rosberg back at it again for another video. This time we're finally back for some Apex Online Racing, League Racing footage, I guess. This is terrible English. But we're finally back with AOR F2. This time we're at the German Grand Prix for the first race of 2019. Never really done a league race at Germany since... I haven't actually done a league race in Germany since 2014, I'm pretty sure. Actually no, we did one CRL on F1 2016. Yeah, 2016 wasn't a great time for me, since to be said. But qualifying, as you can see, it's intermediate conditions. In the wet, I did all of my practice in the dry, so I had basically zero confidence in the wet. But the pace that I showed, I actually felt quite comfortable. The laps I had done in the session, surprisingly, I was pretty comfortable with it. But as you see, going through this curve, the stadium section, I'm pretty sure I know. Pairing 4-hour lap, as you can see, I think it's our teammate that's just in front of us, Infamous Clays, so we're going to let him build up a little bit of a gap. Well, it's just so that we have some clear air. Fair enough. Anyway, going on to the start of the lap, going into turn 1, braking at the 100-meter board down to 5th gear from 7th, just trying to make sure that we don't cut or extend. Probably took it very, very cautiously, maybe too cautiously, I don't know. Braking just before the 100-meter board, turning 3rd gear, getting on the track, getting on the power to try and control the traction on the exit as well. Not going purple at turn 1, but that's okay. Revving the life out of 7th gear, because if you go into 8th, basically, for some reason the braking is just worse. Going into the hairpin, maybe could have taken a little bit of speed, or could have maybe broke a little bit later, but still a good apex. And the corner going through this corner is basically no real challenge here, as long as you've got confidence in the car. Braking down 100-meter board, a little bit wide there, that's probably going to cost us maybe a 10th. Going through here, controlling the power, try not to oversteer and understeer a little bit too much. Coming to the fast right-hander, turn in 5th gear, control the power, don't get too far off on that curb and minus out the cars. It's just happened here with purple through the middle sector, which is quite incredible. Into the final sector, try not to get too much up on that curb. That's Jork 94's gone into pole position. Into the penultimate corner, taking it quite cautiously. Into the final corner, getting a little bit of movement on the rear. But across the line, we're going to set I have no idea what lap we set, but it wasn't quick enough to overhaul Jork. And as you can see, VS Hydraulics then topped the session. So that's his first pole, I think, in AOR. Ahead of Melanie, Jork, Ferrer, myself, Clays, and Bailey in the top 7. Also, shout out to LCR Hayden in 10th. I'm sure he'll appreciate that one. But if you guys aren't aware, I never actually covered this yet, which I know, I'm just a fantastic commentator. The two Force Indias of VSR Holland and VS... Oh dear, I need to push my controller off the table. The two Force Indias of VSR Holland and VSR Warsaw have actually been promoted to F1. So before I start, if they are watching this video, I wish you good luck in F1. I know it's a bit of a challenge, going from dominating F2, to say the least, to perhaps being top midfield, I would say, of F1 would be a bit of a change. But wish you guys the best of luck with that anyway. But now, in the championship, I'm not sure when the graphic's going to appear, but the championship right now is myself and Melanie at the top. Melanie actually leading the championship by 26 points, and Silverstone across the line in P4, but for some reason I wasn't allowed to keep that position. It is what it is, so we are 26 points off the lead, as you can see, slowing down the pack, just so that I have warmer tyres at the start, which will try and give me some form of advantage, which is the thing that I actually do. Also, it's me kind of being a dickhead and just holding up everyone so they have to sit on the grid for a lot longer. But as you can see, lining up in P5 for the German Grand Prix. The home race for Mercedes. And as you can see, the one light is on, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. We get a pretty good start. Clay's on the medium tyres. The top 5 will get pretty good starts. Dralix leads the way ahead of Melanie. Jork getting pushed out in the outside of turn 1, getting the slip from Farrow, going to his outside, braking very late. Into third briefly, but Jork and Farrow going to have the inside on us. We make a bit of contact with Farrow, but we're going to make the move into P4. Trying to defend the position now in the slipstream of Jork. Jork's in the slipstream of Melanie. Is he going to look on the inside? He's going to have a look at least. We're trying to defend the inside from Farrow, braking not too late so we don't touch the rear end of Melanie. Actually clipped his rear end there. But there's a bit of carnage on behind us. I think Clays might have made contact with someone. He's got wing damage now, so we're not going to have a bit of backup here. So that's a little bit unfortunate for him. Jork 94 is going on the side of Dralix though, and that is he's kind of off the track, but that's a good move to say the least. Giving Melanie a bit of a fake, he runs a little bit wide. I don't think it's because I put him off, I think it's because he nearly ran into the back of Dralix. Looking on the inside of him into the Schatz curb. I think that's the name of the corner, I don't know. But to round off the first lap, Jork goes from third to first. Dralix drops down a place along with Melanie, and we gain one ahead of Farrow, who drops one. Across the line, Jork leading the way, of course. My teammate is in the pits, so Clay's obviously having a bit of wing damage. Running a little bit wide through turn 1, but that's no harm done. Pretty much the aim for this race, don't get a penalty. If you don't get a penalty, you might have a very good chance of winning the race. Germany, its first corner, you either cut it, extend it, or you do both. And if you don't do either, then you could be in for a shout. Melanie in the slipstream of Dralix, trying to have a look on him, but Dralix defends the inside. He brakes a little bit late, getting very close to the back of Melanie as well. Farrow kind of just keeping in touch. The DRS might be helping him later on if he can stay in touch. Dralix still holding on to P2 as we skip on to lap 3. Melanie is all over the back of him as we're a little bit further off Melanie, 4/10 back. Melanie's going to have the DRS and slipstream. We're not really bothered about the slipstream at the moment, we're just doing our own thing at the moment. Melanie goes to the outside as Dralix defends the inside line. Melanie brakes very late, maybe too late, as Dralix goes to the inside of him, but Melanie's going to get a good run on the exit. Dralix, he tries to tuck into the slipstream, but we're in hot lap, into overtake mode. We're going to look to the inside. Dralix nearly making a bit of contact, braking late. We're on the softer compound of tyres, and we're going to use that to our advantage. We go up the inside of him into the Mercedes grandstand. And that was, I was so tense when I was making that move. I was so scared. But we made the move stick anyway, so it's all good. Next up is Melanie, trying to capitalise on him. Getting a little bit too much on the curb there, but no harm done as I move my mic, because I think I might have been blowing up in tears, so that's a shame. But anyway, running off lap 3 now, Jork still leads the way, but now it's a McLaren Honda. I knew it's a McLaren Honda. It's a McLaren Renault 1-2. And as you can see, I actually had a warning that lap at turn 1, shock, but that is our first warning of the race. Lap 5, so skipping onto the main straight, you're going to see a lot of overtakes here, or a lot of attempts at least. Melanie goes to the inside to defend. We're going to go to the outside, of course. Braking very late, we're very late on the left foot, and Melanie goes wide, perform the switchback, and job done. You'll have to see it. Pretty standard switchback move. Top 10 overtakes you'll have to see. But next up is Jork, and we've been closing him in quite rapidly in the last couple of laps, just doing our job to the best that we can. I felt like I had the best pace on the softs. I was burning up the tyres quite a lot, so tyre temps might be an issue. Didn't exactly have the greatest setup for saving the tyres, but it also wasn't that bad, so pushing as much as we can onto the back of Jork. We're getting really, really close to him at the moment into overtake. We're going to have a look on the inside. We brake a little bit too late, making a bit of contact with him, bashing him off the circuit. But we're going to give him the place back. It wasn't a fair move. But now Melanie's trying to get involved in this, and I'm just like, oh dear, no, this isn't what I want. Jork is on the inside. We're trying to let him pass. We're going to brake early, and Jork is on the inside. Melanie, thankfully, didn't go for the inside, or else there might have been a problem. But Melanie, he's going to stick into third. Only reason I gave him that position back is because I basically shunted him off the circuit. that didn't happen, I would have just kept going. But we made contact, and I thought it was only the fair thing to do was to give him the place back. 410's back on Jork now, going down the same straight. Overtake slipstream, revving out 7th gear. Round the outside, can we make it stick this time? We broke a little bit too late. Jork shuts the door on us, which is quite fair. Now Melanie's trying to have a look, defending the position, and that was good defensive driving again from Jork. Getting a bit close, we break a little bit too late. The door's wide open for Melanie. We make a bit of contact after I lose the rear ends, and he's been pushed out wide, but no harm really done. But that has allowed Jork to get away, and my tyres were starting to drop off, so yeah, that was the break that Jork needed after we didn't make the position. But now we're on the defence, defending the inside line. Melanie's got to go to the outside. We're late on the left foot, but Melanie's even later. We can't quite squeeze him out because, well, we aren't that far ahead of him. But we get a good run on the exit of the corner anyway, so we have successfully defended P2 once again. But Melanie trying to take no prisoners into the Mercedes grandstand. But we defend P2 for now. Lap 10, going on to lap 11 now. Once again, we're not quite close enough to Jork to get the slipstream. But Melanie, he's well and truly close enough to actually make a move. He's only 2/10 behind us. So we're going to have to defend the inside once again. Going to the inside, but Melanie making a little bit of contact there. I got quite scared. But once again, Melanie to the outside. We make a bit of contact, front to rear tyres. And we're going to squeeze him out this time. Kind of praying that Dralix would get involved. But Dralix with the medium tyres, he's sticking in there. Which is a little bit concerning considering we're all on the faster tyre by a good amount of time. But we're not getting away. He's just abusing the DRS, and he's using it successfully to his advantage. Which might be a little bit of a concern later on in the race, which it is going to rain as well. So, but it should only be raining in the last round of the race. So at the moment we are fine. Once again, coming into this long ass straight, I'm checking to see if Jork has a penalty. Jeff didn't tell me. Melanie going into here, we're going to defend the inside once again, but we left a space on the inside. Here goes Melanie on the inside. He's going to make the move, and that's job done. He's done it. Fair play. That's my bad for not quite defending the inside enough, and he took full advantage of that, and he's made the move stick into P3. We're now down into P3, he goes up into P2 to make it a McLaren 1-2 once again. Dralix still sat in P4, he's not been losing or gaining much time, but lap 13 I kind of struggled with my tyres, couldn't really get close enough to Melanie to make a move, and Dralix has been all over us. But lap 13 we're looking at Jork to see if he's coming into the pits, and he has done, so we're going to follow him in, trying to spot our braking point for the pits, getting maybe a little bit too cautious, but we're okay. Farah's right behind us as well, but we're going to be fitting on the medium compound to go to the end of the race. Are we going to jump Farah or even Coldhead? Farah and Coldhead, they're the same people, but I meant Jork. Of course not, we were nowhere near close enough to jump it. SSR Bobberts. He was a part of our group. He's come out behind us, but we've come out behind a bit of traffic, which is not good for us. As Jork got out ahead of it as well, which really makes things way worse. Bobberts is behind us, but he has jumped Farah. He got like a 2-lap undercut or something. So, although it might work out for him at the moment, at the end of the race, his tyres might not be there until the rain comes down. But as you can see, the clouds have started to loom over the circuit. It's quite dark at the moment in comparison to what it was about 3 laps ago. So the rain could be ominous as LCR Hayden makes a bit of contact with Verstappen, and that could be his race ruined. He was running up in the points, I think. So I think it was net points, I think. People pitted looking up behind him, so I'm not quite sure. But Bailey, he's ahead of us. We're going to go up his inside into turn 2. Maybe not the smartest place to overtake, because now he's going to have the DRS down this main straight, and Bobberts is also right behind him, and myself and Bobberts are fighting for position. Melanie, by the way, he's come out behind Jork, But Bailey, he's in our slipstream. We're like, okay, no, I don't want him to have the slipstream. But then Bobbers gets the slipstream. Now I'm shitting myself. Coming into the braking zone, it's 3 wide between myself, Bobbers, and Verstappen. But we all get through the corner nice and safely. And a little bit of an F1 2014 throwback, if you remember the German Grand Prix, featuring, I think it was like Vettel, Alonso, Raikkonen, something like that. I don't know. When they all went into the chicane, into the hairpin, all 3 wide, and there was a bit of contact with the car in between, which I think might have been Raikkonen. But it's all calm. Melanie, we're on the attack on him again. Switched, faking to the inside to go to the outside. Is he going to brake too late again, like he did before? Not quite. Bobberts, he's also still right behind us. He hasn't been a top field contender in a while. But I mean, while I'm talking about Bobberts, we've gone at the inside of Melanie through the flat-out right-hander, and we're shutting the door on him through turn. I don't know what turn that is, but at the start of Mercedes grandstand, and that is a lot of trust went into Melanie there, hoping that he didn't overshoot the corner too much. But we made the move stick, and that was job done. Getting up onto the grass a little bit there, but no harm done. Next up is Jork once again, and like I said before, I still felt like I was the fastest on track out of this group. I felt like I had the most potential out of pace, but the only problem was I didn't. Well, I say the problem for me. Well, yeah, it was a problem for me. Was the DRS? The DRS train with myself, Melanie, Dralix, before Bobberts, Ferrer. We were all just. They were all just slipstreaming and just making life so much harder for me, which is what really helped Jork build that gap. But as you can see, we managed to go a couple of laps without Melanie fisting us, and we managed to catch up to the back of Jork 94. He runs it a little bit wide. We take a tighter line just so that we can straighten up the corner a lot earlier. That's just something that I feel comfortable with. I don't think it does anything, but it is what it is. Going on to the attack of Jork, we're going to have to go to the outside as he defends the inside line. Are we going to brake late enough into the hairpin? We do. We actually brake a lot later than him, holding it right around the outside. He can't squeeze us out because there's a car there. And we're going to pump it into hot lap to try and maintain the position. Jork is still on the inside. He's going to have the outside into this corner, giving him a lot of space. Braking where the 100-meter board should be, but it's not there. We're going to squeeze out Jork on the outside. And that is the job done into net P1. And there we go. So Dralix, he's out front, he's on the medium tyres, and that should be job done, but oh no. As you might see on the chassis of the car, on the halo, it is actually raining. All this battling that we've been doing has allowed Dralix to maintain this lead on the medium tyres, and yeah, so he's actually, if the rain continues to pick up like it is at the moment, he's gonna take the lead of the race when we pit for inters, but his tyres should be screaming out. As speaking of screaming out, we're battling Jork once again, but we held on to the position. My English today is just not with me, so I do apologise. But my preview screen is also doing me head in, so I'm also missing a couple of things. But as you can see, yellow flags in the final sector. I'm not quite sure that could be for. There is shot collar, it's Smithson. But we've got the change strategy option, as you can see, for intermediate tyres. The problem for us is that it was still, well, Dralix, because of all the battling, he was kind of being held up at the start of the race. If it wasn't for that, maybe he could have missed the pits, and it would have been too wet for his dry tyres, and it could have been a saviour for us, but it's not to be. So he's actually pitting. He hasn't made a pit stop, and we're in the inside of Sauber there for some reason. But VSR Dralix now leads the Grand Prix. Well, he doesn't actually lead the race at the moment, but he's in a net P1. And at the time, I honestly paid no attention to the position counter, and I thought I was going to be in the lead. It was going to be happy days until I came up the pits and saw that Dralix was first. To say I was happy, well, I just wasn't. I was so angry because I knew that this could be a missed opportunity right now. Because bear in mind, in the intermediate conditions, he had pole, and I was down in P5. Bear in mind my lap wasn't exactly phenomenal, and he somehow had a goat first sector. He went like 3 tenths quicker than me, which is quite interesting. He's managed to make a move past LGS, who's still out on the dry tyres. And that right there is Ollie Smithson, who doesn't really know what he's doing at the moment. No idea why he didn't pit. He's off in the gravel traps now. Do you know what? I don't know. But there is LGS. He's gone off where Sebastian Vettel did in the real life Grand Prix. And Dralix, he's going to finish this lap in the lead of the Grand Prix with myself in P2, Jork in P3. I think Jork is battling Bobbits at the moment. Melanie, he had to stack behind Jork, so he's dropped a lot of places. I'm not quite sure where he is at the moment, as we see track limits, which isn't very smart. But lap 25 to 34, P2, and nothing really changes from there. Dralix, you know, he had the pace, he had the consistency. I had the pace, but I didn't have the consistency. I was making mistakes a little bit too often. And, you know, that's all the Dralix needed. The mistakes I was making, I was losing like 7 tenths. And if he was making any mistakes, it was very minimal. But Dralix, he's going to come across the line. He's going to win his first AOR Grand Prix, so congratulations to you. We're going to come home in second. That's our first podium in a little while. And Jork, that's also his first podium since China, I'm pretty sure. And as you can see, Dralix wins Grand Prix. I have no idea where Melanie finished, but yeah, the race itself was very enjoyable, but a little bit frustrating that that's how we lost the race, was just through a bit of a shitty strategy through the rain. But that's how it is sometimes. As you can see, there are the standings from the race anyway. Dralix winning, myself, Jork. Ferret came home in P4 ahead of Franglish, who started in P15, so shout out to you. Melanie finished in P6, so good points from him. Bobbits in P7. Clay's coming from, I think, last at one point into the top 10, so it's a good race from him. There are the championship standings. Melanie leading the way, and myself, Dralix, jumps up into 3rd with his win. But anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit all over the place. Yeah, I've procrastinated making this video, I'm not going to lie. That's kind of just my bad. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video nonetheless. Like it if you did, subscribe if you're new. I will promise I will make content that's a bit better than this one. And I will see you guys in my next video. Cheers.